Have you ever faced a choice so difficult it seemed impossible? Imagine being a mom whose little one is very sick, and one day a mysterious man appears with an offer that could mean saving your child's life. But later you learn something so shocking about him that nothing will ever be the same. Today I'm going to tell you the incredible story of Emma, a brave single mom who did something no one expected just to save her son. Stay tuned because every minute of this story is full of surprises, emotions, and even a little bit of humor that will make you smile even when your heart feels heavy. Once upon a time in a small, friendly town, there lived a caring, single mom named Emma. Emma's world revolved around her sweet little boy, Max, whose bright smile lit up every room. But one day, Max became very sick. The doctors explained that he had a rare illness that made his body very weak. To treat him, he needed special medicine, and the treatment was very, very expensive. Imagine waking up every day with fear in your heart, wondering if your child will get better. Emma felt that fear all too well. Max's condition was like a broken machine that needed repair, and the medicine was the only key to fixing him. Yet Emma did not have enough money. Every night she prayed for a miracle, hoping that a bright light would shine in the darkness to help her save her little boy. It was in these desperate moments that fate decided to intervene, setting the stage for an adventure that would change everything. One chilly autumn evening, as Emma sat by the window with worry in her eyes, there came a knock at the door. Standing there was a kind-faced man who introduced himself as Alex. With calm confidence, he explained that he had heard of Max's condition from a friend at the hospital. Alex said he had enough money to cover Max's expensive treatments and more. There was just one condition: he wanted to marry Emma. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could a stranger ask for marriage in such a moment? But when you are faced with the possibility of losing someone you love, sometimes you must trust in hope. Emma's heart was heavy with worry, but when she looked into Alex's sincere eyes, she felt a spark of determination. Could this be the miracle she was praying for? Despite the shock and the whispers that would soon rumble around town, Emma chose to take that risk. She believed that saving Max's life was worth stepping into the unknown. That night, under the glow of a street lamp, a decision was made that would change every tomorrow that followed. The wedding was nothing like the grand celebrations you see in movies. It was small, quiet, and full of hope. In the tiny community hall of their town, Emma and Alex exchanged their vows. There were no sparkling gowns or fancy cars, just heartfelt promises spoken in a simple voice. Neighbors whispered in the hallways, puzzled by such an unusual union. But Emma didn't hear the gossip. Her focus was entirely on Max and the hope that now, with Alex's help, his life could begin to shine again. With Alex's generous support, the hospital quickly arranged the advanced treatments that Max needed. In the days that followed the wedding, Emma began to see improvements in her son's condition. Slowly, the once grim hospital rooms brightened up with the sound of laughter and tiny giggles. It was as if every dose of medicine came with a sprinkle of hope. Even though the wedding was a bittersweet moment filled with tears and uncertainty, it marked the beginning of a second chance, a chance at life for little Max and a hope for Emma that things could get better. As the weeks passed, life at home felt both like a relief and a puzzle. Alex was always very helpful. He visited the hospital daily, bought Max his favorite toys, and even spent time playing silly games with him that made the little boy laugh until his belly hurt. Simple moments like Alex making a batch of pancakes on a sunny morning, shaped into funny hearts and stars, brought smiles to everyone's faces. But as happy moments grew, a few strange things began to catch Emma's attention. Sometimes Alex would vanish during the night without saying where he was going. Other times he would be so quiet in his study that Emma often wondered what secrets he was keeping behind the closed door. One day while cleaning near the study, Emma found a set of unusual keys sitting on a small table. They glistened under the light and seemed to invite curiosity. Every little clue made Emma's heart beat a little faster. Was it possible that Alex was keeping a secret that might change everything? Even while Max's smile returned, Emma's mind buzzed with questions about the mysterious past hidden behind those locked doors. Curiosity got the best of Emma, one quiet, rainy evening. When Max was fast asleep, Emma tiptoed into Alex's study, a room she had never explored before. What she found amazed and puzzled her at the same time. The study was filled with shelves of thick books, strange computer screens showing scientific charts, and piles of papers filled with words that sounded like science magic. She discovered a neat stack of old photographs tied with a ribbon. In these pictures, Alex was not dressed in a suit but in a white lab coat, smiling among rows of high-tech machines. There were handwritten notes and letters that talked about projects, experiments, and even gene sequences. At that moment, Emma felt like she had opened a secret diary that told a story far different from the kind man she thought she knew. She whispered to herself, "Who are you really, Alex?" and wondered why he had hidden this special part of his life. The warm, safe home she knew was suddenly filled with mystery, a puzzle waiting to be solved, even if it meant unearthing a secret that might hurt. Emma couldn't stay silent any longer. One starry night, as the gentle glow of the moon filled the kitchen, Emma sat across from Alex at their modest dining table. Her voice was steady, but her heart was pounding. "Alex," she said softly, "I found photos and papers in your study. Please tell me the truth. Who are you really, and why did you hide this from me?" Alex's eyes filled with sorrow as he took a deep breath. For a long, heavy moment, silence wrapped around them like a thick blanket. Finally, Alex began to speak. "Before meeting you, before saving Max," he said with a tremor in his voice, "I was part of a secret scientific program. I worked on experiments that could change the way we treat illnesses. I studied gene editing, a process that is a bit like fixing a broken recipe in a cake." He explained that gene editing was a way to correct mistakes in our body's instructions, just like changing a step in a recipe to make the cake taste better. "I was chosen for this project because I had a talent for it, but it was very dangerous work. There were rules and secrets that I was forced to keep," Alex continued. Emma's heart sank as she listened, mixed with feelings of betrayal and understanding. Alex's secret past, hidden behind the kind smile that had once promised hope, was now revealed to be as complicated as the science he worked on. Even though her mind raced with questions, Emma realized that sometimes secrets are born out of necessity and deep responsibility. The truth came out slowly, like the opening of a flower in the morning. Alex revealed that his work was part of a secret government project aimed at creating new treatments for rare diseases. His research in gene editing had given him abilities that allowed him to see patterns and solutions that ordinary doctors could not. With his special skills, he had been the only one who could help save Max when the treatment was beyond reach. But there was more. Alex admitted that being part of that project came with dangerous risks. The experiments were not only complicated, they were controversial and sometimes unethical. To protect everyone involved, including Emma and little Max, Alex was ordered to keep this part of his life hidden. He was living under a new identity, far away from everything he once knew. Emma's feelings were mixed. On one hand, the man who had stepped into her life during her darkest hour was a hero in his own hidden way. On the other hand, the secrets he kept hurt her trust. Yet in that moment, Emma realized that life is rarely simple. Even when someone does something wonderful, like saving a child, their past might still hold mysteries that can shake your world. I must say, it reminds me that sometimes our greatest saviors come with stories we never expected. It might be scary, but it also makes us see that every person has layers, like an onion with many peeled skins, and every layer tells a part of the truth. Let's take a short pause here and talk about something very cool that Alex mentioned: gene editing. Imagine for a moment that your body is like a huge cookbook, and every cell is following recipes to be healthy and strong. Now, what if one of those recipes had a little mistake? Gene editing is like using a magic pen to cross out the error and write in the right ingredient. In real life, scientists use it to try and fix genes that cause diseases. It's a very advanced and careful process, like performing a tiny operation inside your body. This simple idea can sometimes sound like science fiction, but it is real science that is helping doctors find ways to cure illnesses that once seemed impossible. Alex's work was so secret and important that only a few people in the world knew about it. I think it's amazing that even in the darkest times, science can light a path of hope for people like Max. This shows us that behind every groundbreaking cure, there is a story of courage, risk, and often hidden sacrifice. Even though the truth was heavy and full of worry, life sometimes finds its way to tickle our funny bones. One day, as Emma was tidying up, she discovered an old notebook belonging to Alex. To her great surprise, the notebook wasn't filled solely with scientific equations and serious notes. It was also full of little doodles. In one corner, there were sketches of lab mice wearing tiny glasses and little lab coats. One mouse was even drawn riding a miniature bicycle. This silly mix of science and humor made Emma smile. It was as if Alex, despite his secret and dangerous past, still found time to laugh and be playful. Moments like these reminded her that even the most complicated lives can have bright, unexpected sparks of joy. And sometimes in the middle of secrets and shadows, a little chuckle can be a sign that the heart is still open to love and hope. After many nights of reflection and silent tears, Emma realized that she had reached a turning point. She could no longer let fear control her, but she also needed to understand the man who had given her and Max a second chance. One morning, with the sun rising gently outside, Emma sat with Alex at the kitchen table and said, "I understand that you had to keep secrets to protect us, but please help me understand. Was it only because of your work, or did you have another reason to come into our lives?" Alex's eyes gleamed with honest regret. "I joined the project because I wanted to help people," he said softly. "When I heard about Max, I knew I could use my special skills to save him. I never intended to hurt you. I was caught between my duty to a secret project and the love that grew for you both." Emma listened carefully as the weight of his words sank in. It was then she realized that sometimes life forces us to make hard choices. Every person walks a path that has its shadows, and while secrets can hurt, they also sometimes hide the sacrifices behind every kind act. With a deep breath, Emma decided that love and hope were stronger than fear, and that trust would be rebuilt one day at a time. Even as storm clouds of danger began to stir outside their small home, Emma, Alex, and Max found a way to stick together. With Max continuing his treatment and showing signs of recovery every day, the family began to build a new kind of bond. Emma started to learn more about Alex's work so that she could understand the risks he faced. They spent evenings talking about life, the power of science, and even sharing simple jokes to keep the mood light. Alex would explain the science behind his experiments in a way that was almost like telling a bedtime story. Imagine, he would say, that our cells are little superheroes, and sometimes they need a little boost to fight off villains called diseases. Emma and Max would laugh at the idea of tiny caped heroes inside their bodies, ready to save the day. Even in the midst of uncertainty, these small, happy moments reminded them that love and teamwork could get them through the toughest days. Through every smile, every tender word, and every brave step forward, the family learned that even secrets and surprises can lead to healing. And while danger still lurked in the background, their little home became a fortress built on trust, care, and the promise of a better tomorrow. Just when things seemed to be turning brighter, a new unsettling rumor began spreading quietly in the town. Whispers told of people from Alex's past, dangerous individuals connected to the secret project, who might be looking for him. One cold night, as rain tapped softly on the window, Emma received a mysterious phone call. A low, distorted voice warned her that the secret Alex carried might put their family in grave danger. Every sound in their small home made Emma's heart race that night. Although the threat was unclear, the fear was real. Alex quickly became more cautious. He contacted a few trusted old friends from his secret project to find out what was happening. Emma and Alex started taking small steps to protect their home, like adding extra locks, keeping flashlights near the door, and even practicing what to do if they needed to run away quickly. Even as this dark cloud of danger loomed, Emma knew that running away was not the answer. With determination stealing her spirit, she wrapped her arms around Max and promised herself that as long as love was in her heart, they would face every challenge together. This was a time for courage, a time to stand up even when the night was cold and uncertain. Facing danger forces us to make plans, even when we feel small. Emma, who had never imagined herself as a fighter, began learning little skills that could help protect her family. Alex explained in simple words like, imagine you are playing a video game and you collect all the best power-ups to protect your kingdom. We are doing the same in real life. You learn to be smart and careful to keep your loved ones safe. Together, they prepared for any possible threat. Alex would discreetly check on the neighborhood and update Emma with tips on staying safe. Emma learned how to lock every door twice and keep important phone numbers close to her heart. Though it was a challenging time, these small steps not only made their home safer, but also brought them closer than ever. Max, too, got into the spirit. He would pretend to be a brave knight every time he saw his mom, laughing and saying, "Mom, we're on a secret mission." This mix of determination and a touch of playful humor, like Max's brave knight game, helped them remember that even in the darkest times, there is always a way to fight back with love, courage, and sometimes a fun adventure. Week by week, something wonderful began to happen. Max, who once looked so pale and tired, was slowly regaining his color and energy. His giggles returned, and the sparkle in his eyes grew stronger with every passing day. The treatments were working, and the doctors marveled at his progress. One doctor said in very simple words, "It is like your body is learning a new dance. With every step, you get stronger." Emma's heart swelled with gratitude. Each smile from Max was confirmation that their fight was not in vain. Alex continued to work on his secret projects quietly, using what he had learned in those mysterious laboratories to help not only Max, but also to ensure that other children might one day be saved from similar illnesses. For Emma, every day was a gift, a chance to see hope in the smallest things, like bright morning sunbeams, the sound of raindrops, or even the playful quirk of a doodle in an old notebook. Even through the uncertainty and the echoes of danger that sometimes crept in, the family found that healing was not just about medicine. It was about the bond they shared and the strength that comes from believing in each other. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Emma's journey taught her some very valuable lessons. One lesson was that sometimes the path to saving someone's life comes with unexpected challenges. Making big decisions in desperation can lead us into surprises we never dreamed of. But within every secret and every twist lies a lesson that love often requires us to be brave, even when we are scared. Emma learned that secrets, even shocking ones, are sometimes kept to protect the ones we love. Alex's hidden past, as strange as it seemed, was part of the reason he could help Max. And even though she felt hurt at first, Emma began to understand that trusting someone means accepting that they too might have scars and secrets from their past. I personally believe that every difficult choice in life is also an invitation to learn more about ourselves. In Emma's story, we see that through hardship, one can find courage, forgiveness, and the power to work together. It is a reminder to all of us that even in the face of uncertainty, love and hope can light the way through even the darkest nights. One sunny morning, after many challenging months, a small miracle happened. Max, now much healthier and happier, drew a beautiful picture of his family, a picture of Mommy, Alex, and even a rainbow that symbolized hope. Looking at that drawing, Emma felt tears of joy mixed with relief. The simple crayon strokes on paper spoke louder than words. Despite all the secrets, pain, and fear, their family was united by a love that was stronger than any threat. Alex, seeing the drawing, knelt beside Max and whispered, "This is our new beginning. I promise to protect our happiness, no matter what shadows remain from my past." In that warm moment, with the gentle chirping of birds outside and the soft light of a new day, Emma understood that life's unexpected turns might shake us, but they can also lead us to the brightest moments if we have the courage to hold on to hope. That painting, simple as it may look, became a daily reminder that every storm eventually gives way to a rainbow, and every secret has a story that can lead to healing and trust. As the days grew longer and the seasons began to change once again, Emma, Alex, and Max managed to build a life that was no longer just about survival. It was about living fully despite the shadows of the past. Their story spread quietly through town, not as a tale of sorrow, but as an inspiring journey of resilience, forgiveness, and most of all, love. Every day, Emma would step out into the community with a renewed sense of purpose. She began sharing her story with other moms and families who sometimes faced hard times. Her message was simple. Even when choices force us into unexpected paths, our strength comes from the love we have and the willingness to trust again. And Alex, who once hid a secret that nearly broke their bond, became a quiet hero, using his knowledge to slowly start positive changes in the secret world of science, always guided by the memory of that promise to save Max. With patience, laughter, a few silly jokes from Max, and the shared determination of two people learning to trust each other again, They embraced a future where every sunrise was a new chance, and every day was a reminder that even the most shocking secrets can eventually lead to hope and healing. And so, as our story comes to a close, think about the lessons hidden in every difficult choice. Emma's brave decision to marry a stranger to save her sick child led her into a world full of mysteries, challenges, and unexpected truths. While the secret of Alex's past shook her at first, it also taught her that love is about accepting the whole person, even their hidden parts, and fighting together for a better tomorrow.